So what? You got a shirt with some blood on it. Doesn't prove anything.
It's Claudia's blood. Right, I was the one who found the cabin that night. I heard my mom screaming. So I grabbed the first thing I saw, the axe handle. I ran inside and I saw Claudia was taking the baby, so I hit her.
That's not very convincing.
After Claudia fell, after I hit her, I knelt down beside her body and I got her blood all over my hands. And then it got on the shirt. This shirt.
Okay, so where was Sonny when this supposedly all went down?
I just told you he wasn't there. It was me, my mom, Jocelyn, and Claudia who was dead. I killed her. My father showed up afterwards and he took me home. I was supposed to give him my clothes so we can burn them. But I kept the shirt. I'm not even sure why. And what I guess now it's a good thing. Maybe I knew all along this whole cover-up thing wasn't gonna work. And I'd have to tell the truth.
I don't buy it.
You're not a very good cop, are you?
Well, I'm not hearing anything convincing.
No. See, you want it to be Dad because you want to be right. You built this case and you don't want to see your big investigation count for nothing.
You know, I doubt that's even Claudia's blood. And even if it is, I'm sure it got on there some other way.
Did you ever wonder why Jason let Franco hang around as long as he did? It's because he had photos of me kneeling beside Claudia's dead body. Franco was outside the cabin that night, but no one saw him. And Jason couldn't kill him because he would have turned those photos over to the cops.
That's some story.
Ever since that night, everyone has been trying to cover for me for something I did. My mom, Sam, Jason. But my dad has done the most. He took the blame. And now he's on trial, risking everything for me. Do you still think our dad is a piece of garbage?
Just grab me a draft, please.
I'll have another one too, please.
Great.
Everything okay?
My wife was supposed to come down and meet me for a drink, but she's opted to stay home.
Life is full of disappointments and annoyances. Some big ones, little ones, lost causes.
Any cause in particular we're talking about here?
Let's just say it gets pretty frustrating when you're trying to do the right thing. And somewhere along the way, you just push too hard trying to get what you want, and you find yourself compromised in ways you've never imagined.
I'm sorry.
See? You did remember.
No, really, I'm 45 minutes late. I'm really
Well,
sorry.
they assured us that they hold our table. You are, after all, the owner, so. But it looks like you've had quite a day.
Is it that obvious?
Harley?
Really? Me? I'm starting to second guess myself.
Something you're definitely not accustomed to.
Yeah, right. I don't like the feeling. It looks like that risk I took is not going to pay off.
Well, I've been reading all about Sonny's trial in the newspaper. I thought it was all going in your favor.
It was, until Carly testified. Apparently she was so convincing, it's guaranteed that Sonny's going to walk.
Oh, come on. You can't be sure about that.
No, I can't be sure about it. I'm starting to wonder, even if I get my way and Sonny goes to prison for the rest of his life, was it all worth it? I knew that when Sonny went to trial for Claudia's murder, he would pull out all the stops, so I did the same. I called in some favors and brought in the best federal prosecutor I could find, Claire Walsh.
I know. I read about her in the paper.
Yeah, she was perfect for the case. Young, ambitious, and she would never accept defeat.
Just what you needed.
I can make some calls, call in some more favors, and maybe I can get the judge to declare a mistrial or something.
Can I ask you something? Why did you start all this?
Yes and no. I never expected her to put Morgan on the stand or base her entire case around Michael.
Well, it stands to reason, doesn't it? Sonny has no boundaries. How can you expect the prosecutor, the person trying to convict him, to have any?
I'm just starting to think maybe I should put a stop to the whole thing.
Jax, how would you do that?
Well, I know people, you know. I can make some calls, call in some more favors, and maybe I can get the judge to declare a mistrial or something.
Can I ask you something? Why did you start all this?
Keep my family out of the line of fire?
Exactly. Now, if you stop this and Sonny goes free, is that going to happen?
No.
Well, then my advice to you is to stay the course, despite your misgivings. And isn't this trial, however difficult, more important than Morgan or Jocelyn being hurt by what Sonny does? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I know that look. There's something you're not telling me. What aren't you telling me?
There is something, but I can't tell you. And just know that if it blows up in my face, my marriage is way more over than it is now.
Oh. Well, then I guess that simplifies things. You have to answer the question. What's more important to you? Your war against Sonny? Or keeping your family?
Have you ever taken an ethics class?
My professor's favorite question when we were faced with a hypothetical dilemma was, would you do this in front of your mother? Shortened up the yes column.
Lesson 1. The end does not justify the means. Sending a man to prison, even if he deserves to go, doesn't mean you should stalk or bully his kids. Or does it?
I gotta be honest with you. I know you're talking about Sonny Corinthos. You're Claire Walsh, the prosecutor, right?
Love that internet.
Actually, I've seen you in action. My wife is Dr. Robin Scorpio. I was there when she was on the stand.
Well, I guess I should take a better look at the gallery if I'm going to shoot my mouth off at a local pub. So, you're probably not my biggest fan.
Believe it or not, I'd like to thank you. Next round's on me. Bartender. There's a long history with Sonny. She has a way of overlooking the bad and only seeing the good. She romanticizes Sonny. I don't. I think Sonny's dangerous and he hides behind all the innocent people that line up to protect him.
It's pretty smart. Makes it impossible to go after Sonny without doing damage to the people who love him.
That's right, they all enable him. They don't realize or care that they're part of a cycle that perpetuates the damage, but you have a distinct advantage.
How so?
You have no emotional ties to any of those people. It frees you up to go after Sonny any way you can. And I have to admit, as a father that's planning to raise his daughter in Port Charles and doesn't want her hit by a stray bullet from a mob shootout, I hope to God you do what you can and put Sonny in jail where he belongs. You're doing the right thing, Claire. Remember that. It's gonna be pretty late. By the time we land in Port Charles tonight, I'll get your shirt over to forensics, get them to check it out. If it comes back and they don't back your confession, I gotta take it to the prosecutor and you gotta get ready to testify.
So, what happens when I get proven right?
If you get proven right,